Sadali.
As kami so itaas ang buko ang sasay.
BCCC.
Mobile na. Yeah. So yes. Dennis. Yes. Ito ba sa siyang or anywhere gana ang po tuwa man ni sa
Good morning. May I request everyone to please stand for the opening.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, as we start our activity today, we bring your presence with us. I speak your peace, your grace, your mercy, and your perfect order into our work. Acknowledge your power over all that will be done, spoken, thought, and decided within this house. And Lord, I thank you for the gift you have blessed us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, thank you. So before we start, I request the Back Secretary to call the roll of attendees and the declaration of quorum.
Good morning, everyone. Attendees for today's pre-bid conference are as follows. We have Back Chairperson Christian George B. Palin. We have the Vice Chairperson Bernard V. Duran. For Back regular members, we have Ivan Jan V. Diang, Francis Dale G. Ligoto, and Alin P. Malikay. For Back provisional members, we have Giancarlo Otamahoyot and Rex Impal. For the TWG head, we have Ermiti Gongo. And for TWG members, we have Gina M. Sugabo, J. Vincent C. Palming, Dennis A. Kumala, RCB N. Katipay, Miguel Ken P. Vicoy, Dixon Franz L. Paglinawan, Jeff Duhay Lungsod, Domino Dominic B. Nyala, and Ernesto S. Rimulyo Jr. For the Back Secretariat Head, we have Elsa C. Himadla. For the Secretariat members, we have Donald Rose J. Duran, Maria Estela Gracia M. Remonio, Connie E. Ojales, Maria Eva Queen O. Bation, and yours truly, Gladys Maria Malitan. We don't have observers as of the moment. And since majority or all of the regular back members are present, therefore we have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Having the bank in quorum, so this private conference is now called to order. So for our agenda for today is the presentation of basic contract data to be presented by Engineer Maria Estrella Gracia Remulio and Giancarlo Campahulio. Requirements of bidding documents to be presented by Engineer Rex Impal. Documents to be submitted by the bidders to be presented by Engineer Dixon Franz Paglinawan. Procedure for eligibility check to be presented by Engineer Gladys Marie M. Malikay. Procedure for preliminary examination of bids to be presented by Engineer Allen P. Malikay. Procedure for detailed evaluation of bids to be presented by Engineer Ernesto S. Remolio Jr. Procedure for post-qualification of LCB and award to be presented by Engineer Rigel Kent Bicoy. And summary of proceedings to be presented by Engineer Maria Estrella Gracia M.
Good morning, everyone. So here are the projects for the pre-bid conference. First project is 26RJ0018, 001 Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System Bridge Program, Replacement of Permanent Weak Bridges to Manhole Bridge. Bridge ID B00012SJ along Secure Circumferential Road. Appropriation is 91,038,000 pesos with an ABC of 87,851,670 with a project duration of 241 calendar days. Major category is BCCCP, Bridge Construction Superstructure with Cast in Place Piles. Physical target 60 linear meters. Here, for the equipment requirements, one is low bed trailer with a capacity of 20 ton. Backhoe with breaker. With a capacity of 0.88 cubic meter or 1.05 cubic yards. One unit. Payloader LX80 2C 1.5 cubic meter or 1.95 cubic yards, one unit. 2 units of dump truck, all models with a capacity of 12 cubic yards. 1 unit of water truck, pump, all makes with a capacity of 16,000 liters. 1 unit of cold milling machine W100 TCD 201 2012 L06 2B with a capacity of milling with 1 meter, maximum depth of 300 mm. 1 unit of bulldozer DX175, 1 unit of motorized road grader G710B, 1 unit of vibratory roller SD100DC with a capacity of 10 metric tons, 4 units of transit mixers, all models, with a capacity of 5 cubic feet per minute, 2 units of concrete vibrator flexible shaft type 2-inch head diameter with 5 amperes gasoline drive unit, 1 unit of concrete batch plant, 1 unit of concrete screeder walker truss screed, 1 unit of concrete saw 14 inches blade diameter with 3/4 cutting depth, 1 unit of bar cutter 3-phase, 1 unit of joint sealer machine, 1 unit of drilling rig 300 HP, 1 unit of crawler crane standard boom all models 41 to 45 metric tons, 1 unit of crawler crane standard boom all models 21 to 25 metric tons. One generator set, all makes 300 kilowatts. One bentonite bin, one bentonite mixer, 1 water pump, 100 mm suction diameter with a capacity of 7.5 HP. One unit bar bender, 25 mm maximum rebar diameter, 3-phase. One unit bar cutter, 25 mm maximum rebar ng diameter, grade 40, single phase. One unit of welding machine, electric driven DC output, 500 amperes. One unit cutting outfit, one unit tremie pipe set, one SPT and desanding machine, 2 units portable breaker BHF 330S, one unit air compressor, all models, 126 to 160 TFM. One air compressor with 2 jackhammer, one lighting system tower or tower lights, 2 units truck mounted crane standard boom, all models, 41 to 45 metric tons, one vibro hammer MHF 12 with hydraulic power pack, 120 kilonewton per meter. One unit welding machine, gas or diesel driven, 500 amperes. One pile integrity testing and accessories. One grinding machine and accessories. One dynamic pile testing. One drop hammer with accessories, 20 metric tons. Service crane, 21 to 25 metric ton. One cargo or service truck, all models, 9 to 10 metric tons. One crawler crane with bucket, 36 to 40 metric tons, one dolly, one bagger mixer, 4 to 6 cubic feet per meter per minute, one cargo service truck, all models, 2 to 5 metric ton, one applicator machine CK380, 100 kilograms, one kneading machine YD 300 kilogram per cylinder, hydraulic double cylinder, one unit telescopic man lift, 15 1.5 meter max working height, one boom truck NXG1160D, 3ZAL1X, 2 units minor tools, one survey equipment, and one materials for testing equipment. Second project is 26 RJ0050 01, ensure safe and reliable national road system, network development program of carriageway improvement, secondary roads, Siquijor-Bolos-San Juan Road, kilometer 63 plus minus 10 to 64 plus 620, kilometer 64 plus 620 to 64 plus 760, kilometer 65 plus 379 to 65 plus 589, kilometer 65 plus 726 to kilometer 65 plus 738, kilometer 65 plus 894 to kilometer 65 plus 925, kilometer 66 plus 16 to kilometer 69 plus 518, kilometer 66 plus 290 to kilometer 69 plus 518. Appropriation is 51,940,000 with an ABC of 50,122,100 pesos. Contract duration is 139 calendar days with a major category RCP roads construction PCCP. Physical target is 5.525 square meters. Here's the location map of the project. For the equipment requirements, 1 unit low bed trailer, 25 metric tons, 1 backhoe HDA 23.83 cubic meter or per 1.05 cubic yards, 2 units payloader LX82C 1.5 cubic meter or 1.95 cubic yards, 2 units dump truck, all models 12 cubic yards, 1 motorized flow grader G710B, 1 bulldozer DX175, 1 vibratory roller SB100DC, 10 metric tons. 1 water truck pump all makes 16,000 liters. 4 units transit mixers all models with a capacity of 4 cubic feet per minute. 2 concrete vibrator flexible shaft type 2-inch head with 5 amperes gasoline drive unit. 1 concrete batch plant. 1 concrete spreader walker truss screed. 1 concrete saw 14-inch blade diameter with 3/4 cutting depth. 1 bar cutter 3-phase. 1 joint sealer machine. 1 telescopic man lift 15-meter maximum working height. 1 boom truck NXG1 160D3ZAL1X. 1 plate compactor 400 to 500 gasoline engine. 1 bar cutter 25 mm maximum rebar diameter grade 40 single phase. 1 bar bender 25 mm maximum rebar diameter 3-phase. 1 bagger mixer with a capacity of 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute. 1 backhoe wheel-mounted PW60N-1 0.28 cubic meter or 0.37 cubic yards. 1 survey equipment and 1 materials testing machine. Next project is 26RJ0051. 001 ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, secondary roads, secure circumferential road, kilometer 42 plus 337 to kilometer 43 plus 00. With appropriation of 20,803,000 with an ABC of 20,386,940 pesos. Contract duration is 67 calendar days under major category RRA roads, rehabilitation, asphalt. Physical target is 0.662 kilometers. So this is the location note of the project. For the equipment requirements, 1 low bed trailer with the capacity of 25 metric tons, 1 backhoe HD 823 with a capacity of 0.80 cubic meter or 1.04 cubic yards, 1 unit bulldozer DX175, 2 units payloader LX80-2C with a capacity of 1.5 cubic meter or 1.95 cubic yards, 2 dump truck, all models, 12 with a capacity of 12 cubic yards, 1 motorized road grader G710B, 1 vibratory roller SD100DC with a capacity of 10 metric tons, 1 asphalt distributor Roscoe per 5 ton with a capacity of 3,000 USG. 1 power broom tow type with engine with a capacity of 2 meter wide, 6 to 30 kilometers per hour sweeping capacity. 1 asphalt paver NF220BII VDM with a capacity of 80 HP. 1 pneumatic tire roller 9-WHL 9.00 by 24 PR with a capacity of 10 metric tons. 1 tandem steel roller HD110 with a capacity of 11 metric tons. 1 water truck or pump all makes 16,000 liters. 1 cargo or service truck all models 2 to 5 metric tons. 1 applicator machine CK380 100 kilograms. 1 kneading machine YD 300 kilogram per cylinder hydraulic double cylinder. 1 telescopic man lift with a capacity of 15-meter maximum working height. 1 boom truck NXG1160D3ZAL1X. 1 plate compactor 400 to 500 gasoline engine. 1 bar cutter 25 mm maximum rebar diameter grade 40 single phase. 1 bar bender 25 mm maximum rebar diameter 3-phase. 1 bagger mixer with a capacity of 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute. 1 survey equipment and 1 materials testing equipment. Next project is 26RJ0052. 001 ensures safe and reliable National Road System Asset Preservation Program, Preventive Maintenance, Secondary Road, Secure Circumferential Road, Kilometer 43 plus 00 to Kilometer 43 plus 626. Appropriation is 19,857,000 with an ABC of 19,459,860 pesos. Contract duration is 66 calendar days under major category RRA roads, rehabilitation, asphalt. Physical target is 600.626 kilometers. This is the location map of the project. The equipment requirements, one low bed trailer with a capacity of 25 metric ton, one asphalt distributor Roscoe per 5 ton, 3,000 USG, one power broom tow type with engine, 2 kilometer wide, 6 to 30 kilometers per hour sweeping capacity, one asphalt paver NF220 BII VDM, 80 HP, one pneumatic tire roller 9-WHL 9.00 by 24 PR, 10 metric tons, one tandem steel roller HD110 with a capacity of 11 metric ton, one water truck or pump all makes 16,000 liters, one cargo or service truck all models 2 to 5 metric tons, one applicator machine CK380 100 kilograms, one kneading machine YD 300 kilogram per cylinder, hydraulic double cylinder, one backhoe HD 2020 III point point 80 cubic meter per 1.05 cubic yards. One telescopic man lift. One one boom truck NXG 1160D3ZAL1X, one plate compactor 400 to 500 gasoline engine, one bar cutter 25 mm maximum rebar diameter grade 40 single phase, one bar bender 25 mm maximum rebar diameter 3 phase, one bagger mixer 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute, one survey equipment, and one materials testing equipment.
Good morning. Our next project, 26RJ0053, 001 ensure safe and reliable National Road System Network Development Program, Off-Carriageway Improvement, Secondary Road, Circumferential Road, Kilometer 12 plus 402 to Kilometer 13, Kilometer 23 plus 739 to Kilometer 24 plus 114, and Kilometer 24 170 to Kilometer 24 plus 722 with an appropriation of 16,660,000 and ABC of 16,326,800. Contract duration of 80 calendar days with major category RCP roads construction PCP with a physical target of 1.525 kilometers. And this is the location of the projects. These are the location of the project. Equipment requirements: one unit of low bed trailer 25 metric tons, two units of payloader LX82C of 1.5 cubic meters or 1.95 cubic yards, two units of dump truck all models 12 cubic yards, one unit of motorized road grader G710B, one unit of bulldozer DX175, one unit of vibratory roller SD100DC 10 cubic, like 10 metric tons, one unit of water truck or pump, all makes 16,000 liters, four units of transit mixer, all models, with a capacity of 5 cubic feet per minute, two units of concrete vibrator, flexible shaft type 2, 2 inches head diameter with 5 amperes gasoline drive unit, one unit of concrete batch plant, one unit of concrete screeder, bucker truss screen, 1 unit of concrete saw 14 inches blade diameter with 3/4 inches cutting depth. 1 unit of bar cutter 3-phase, 1 unit of joint sealer machine, 1 unit of survey equipment, and 1 unit of material testing equipment. Next project, 25 RJ0054, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Elevating Gaps, Access Road and or bridges from national roads leading to major strategic buildings, facilities, rehabilitation of road, Kaplaran, Kagumantong, Barangay Kaplaran, Razing, Siquijor, Station 5+6182, Station 6+436. Appropriation of 41,160,000 and the ABC of 40,336,800 with contract duration of 100 calendar days. Major category of RCP roads construction PCP and physical target of 0.818 kilometers. And this is the project location. For equipment requirements, 1 unit of low-bed trailer, 25 metric tons, 1 unit of backhoe with breaker, HDA 20 III of 0.8 cubic meters or 1.05 cubic yards, 1 unit of chainsaw, Husqvarna 2100 CD with CR22 of 7 feet reach and 9 inches standard blade, 2 units of payloader LX82C, with a capacity of 1.5 cubic meters or 1.95 cubic yards, 2 units of dump truck all models 12 cubic yards, 1 unit of motorized road grader G710B, 1 unit of bulldozer DX175, 1 unit of vibratory roller SD100DC of 10 cubic metric tons, 1 unit of water truck or pump all makes 16,000 liters, 4 units of transit mixer all models 5 cubic feet per minute, 2 units of concrete vibrator flexible shaft type 2 inches head diameter with 5 amperes gasoline drive unit, 1 unit of concrete batch fan, 1 unit of concrete skidder walker truss grid, 1 unit of concrete saw 14 inches blade diameter with 3/4 cutting depth, 1 unit of bar cutter 3-phase, 1 unit of joint sealer machine, 1 unit of cargo service truck all models with a capacity of 2 to 5 metric tons, 1 unit of applicator machine CK380 of 100 with a capacity of 100 kilograms, 1 unit of knitting machine YD300 kilograms per cylinder, hydraulic double cylinder, 1 unit of telescopic man lift, 15 meters maximum working height, 1 unit of boom truck NXG1160D3ZA L1X, 1 unit of plate compactor 400 to 500 gasoline engine, 1 unit of bar cutter 25 mm maximum repair diameter, grade 40 single phase, 1 unit of bar bender 25 mm maximum repair diameter 3-phase, 1 unit of 1 bagger mixer 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute, 1 unit of backhoe wheel-mounted PW60N-1 of 0.28 cubic meters or 0.37 cubic yards, 1 unit of survey equipment, and 1 unit of material testing equipment. Next project, 26 RJ0055, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Elevating Gaps, SIPAG, access roads and or bridges from national roads leading to major strategic buildings, facilities, rehabilitation road. Kimba, kang ato yung punong Barangay Lasi, Siquijor, Station 10+505 to Station 11+323 with an appropriation of 41,160,000 and ABC of 40,336,800 with contract duration of 125 calendar days. Major category are CP roads, construction PCP, and physical target of 818 meters. And this is the location of the project. For equipment requirements, 1 unit of low bed trailer, 25 metric tons, 1 unit of backhoe with breaker, HD20 III with a capacity of 0.8 cubic meters or 1.05 cubic yards. 1 unit of chainsaw Husqvarna 100 CD with CR22 2 feet reach 9 in standard blade. 2 units of payloader LX82C with a capacity of 1.5 cubic meters or 1.95 cubic yards. 2 units of dump truck, all models, 12 cubic yards. 1 unit of motorized road grader G710B. 1 unit of bulldozer DX175. 1 unit of vibratory roller SD100DC, 10 metric tons. 1 unit of water truck or pump, all makes with a capacity of 16,000 liters. 4 units of transit mixer, all models, 5 cubic feet per minute. 2 units of concrete vibrator flexible shaft type, 2 inches head with 5 amperes gasoline drive unit. 1 unit of concrete patch plant. 1 unit of concrete screeder, Walker truss grade screed. 1 unit of concrete saw 14 inches blade diameter with 3-4 inches cutting depth. 1 unit of bar cutter 3-phase. 1 unit of joint sealer machine. 1 unit of cargo or service truck, all models, 2 to 5 metric tons. 1 unit of applicator machine, CK380, with a capacity of 100 kilograms. 1 unit of kneading machine, YD300 kilogram per cylinder, hydraulic double cylinder. 1 unit of telescopic mud lift, 15 meters maximum working height. 1 unit of boom truck, NXG 11060D3ZA1X. 1 unit of 400 to 500 gasoline engine. 1 unit of bar cutter, 25 mm maximum rebar diameter, grade 40, single phase. 1 unit of bar bender, 25 mm maximum rebar diameter, 3-phase. 1 unit of 1 bagger mixer, 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute. 1 unit of backhoe wheel-mounted PW60N-1 with a capacity of 0.28 cubic meters or 0.37 cubic yards. 1 unit of survey equipment and 1 unit of material testing requirements. Next project, 26RJ0056, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects, Elevating Gaps, CPAC, access roads and or bridges from national roads leading to major strategic buildings or facilities, rehabilitation of road, Tulusong, Barangay Punong, Siquijor, stationing 1 plus 609 to station 2 plus 447 with an appropriation of 42,140,000 and the ABC of 41,297,200. Contract duration of 126 calendar days with a major category of RCP roads construction PCP and physical target of 838 meters. And this is the location of the project. For equipment requirements, 1 unit of low bed trailer, 25 metric tons, 1 unit of backhoe with breaker HDA20 III with a capacity of 0.8 cubic meters or 1.05 cubic yards, 1 chainsaw Husqvarna 210 CD with CR22, 7 feet reach and 9 in standard blade, 2 units of payloader LX80-2C with a capacity of 1.5 cubic meters or 1.95 cubic yards. 2 units of dump truck, all models, 12 cubic yards. 1 unit of motorized road grader G710B. 1 unit of bulldozer DX175. 1 unit of vibratory roller SD100 DC with a capacity of 10 metric tons. 1 unit of water truck or pump all makes with a capacity of 16,000 liters. 4 units of transit mixer all models, 5 cubic feet per minute. 2 units of complete vibrator flexible shaft type, 2 inches head diameter with 5 amperes gasoline drive unit. 1 unit of complete batch plant. 1 unit complete splitter walker truss skate. 1 unit of complete saw 14-inch blade diameter with 3/4 inch cutting depth. 1 unit of bar cutter 3-phase. 1 unit of joint sealer machine. 1 unit of cargo or service truck all models 2 to 5 metric tons. 1 applicator machine CK380 100 kilograms. 1 kneading machine YD 300 kilogram per cylinder. Hydraulic double cylinder. 1 telescopic man lift with 15 meters maximum working height. 1 boom truck NX G1160D3ZA1LX. 1 plate compactor 400 to 500 gasoline engine. 1 bar cutter 25 mm maximum rebar diameter grade 40 single phase. 1 bar bender 25 mm maximum rebar diameter 3-phase. 1 unit of 1 bagger mixer 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute. 1 backhoe wheel mounted PW60N-1.28 cubic meters or 0.37 cubic yards. 1 serve equipment and 1 material testing equipment. For last project, 26RJ0057, ensure safe and reliable national roads system asset preservation program, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, secondary roads, circumferential road, kilometer 61 plus 222 to kilometer 61 and 730, with appropriation of 16,827,000 and ABC of 16,490,460 pesos. Contract duration of 113 calendar days and major category RCP road construction PCP and physical target of 508 meters. And this is the location of the project. For equipment requirements, 1 unit of low bed trailer 25 metric tons, 2 units of payloader LX80-2C 1.5 cubic meters or 1.95 cubic yards, 2 units of dump truck all models 12 cubic yards, 1 unit of cold milling machine W100 TCD 2012 L062V with a capacity of milling width of 1 meter, maximum depth of 100 mm. 1 unit of motorized road grader G710B, 1 unit of bulldozer DX175, 1 unit of vibratory roller SD100DC with a capacity of 10 metric tons, 1 unit of water truck or pump, all makes 16,000 liters, 4 units of transit mixer, all models 5 cubic meters per minute, 2 units of concrete vibrator flexible shaft type 2 inches diameter with 5 amperes gasoline drive unit, 1 unit of concrete batch plant, 1 unit of concrete skirter walker truss skate, 1 unit of concrete saw, 14 inches blade diameter with 3/4 inches cutting depth, 1 unit of bar cutter 3-phase, 1 unit of joint sealer machine, 1 unit of cargo or service truck all models 2 to 5 metric tons, 1 unit of applicator machine CK380 with a capacity of 100 kilograms, 1 unit of kneading machine YD 300 kilogram per cylinder, hydraulic double cylinder, 1 unit of survey equipment, and 1 unit of material testing equipment. For minimum work experience requirements of all the project and engineer must have the minimum years of experience of 7 project manager, project engineer of same position or similar experience. Materials engineer, 4 years of minimum similar experience or position, and foreman of 5 years of similar experience or position. The schedule of activities, dropping of bid is on May 26, 2026 until 9:30 a.m. and opening of bids is on May 26, 2026 at 10 a.m.
For the requirements of bidding documents, bidders shall submit their bids through their respective duly authorized representatives using the form specified in the bidding documents in 2 separate sealed bid envelopes or in appropriate documents and file format for electronic bid submission as per the relevant guidelines, and which shall be submitted simultaneously. The first shall contain the technical component of the bid, including the eligibility requirements under Section 52 of this IRR, and the second shall contain the financial component of the bid. The bidder should note that the procuring entity shall only accept bids from the bidders that have purchased the bidding documents from the office indicated in the invitation to bid, or have downloaded the bidding documents from the websites of DPWH and FieldJobs, subject to the payment of the fee for the bidding documents upon submission of their bids. The bidding documents shall be attached in a technical proposal. A bid securing declaration is an undertaking which states, among others, and the bidder shall enter into contract with the procuring entity and furnish the required performance security within 10 calendar days as indicated in the bidding documents from receipt of the notice of award in prescribed format. The DPWA shall post a complete set of bidding documents at its website www.dpwh.gov.ph and at FieldJobs www.fieldjobs.gov.ph for the general reference of the public for every contract to be procured starting on the first day of advertisement of the invitation to bid. Any prospective bidder or other interested party may thus view or download the bidding documents from the aforementioned websites. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically or online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Similar to manual submission, the guidelines for the preparation and submission of an electronic bid are contained in the bidding documents. The original copy of the bid form shall be typewritten or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes, or in case of electronic bid submission, bidding documents not in compressed archive folders and are not password protected shall be rejected. However, bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked or not properly compressed and password protected as required in the bidding documents shall be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The bank shall assume no responsibility for misplaced or lost contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or improperly compressed or password protected folder, or for its premature opening. The bidder shall submit one original copy of the Class A and Class B documents. Then, the bidder shall be declared at LCRB shall submit 3 copies, each of the technical and financial components proposals of its bid before the issuance of the notice of award.
Documents to be submitted by the bidders comprising the technical and financial components. Checklist of technical documents for technical component envelope. Class A documents, legal documents. A, valid PhilJobs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. B, registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, Department of Trade and Industry DTI for sole proprietorship or cooperative development, Authority CDA for cooperatives or its equivalent documents. C. Mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place or place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And D. Tax clearance per executive order number 398 series 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue BIR. Technical documents, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, with whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, and F. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules, supported by the final acceptance issued by the project owner, other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the contractor's performance evaluation system or CPS, or a similar performance and monitoring system in TP contract agreement and award. G. Contract registration certificate CRC, and H. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board PCAB license, or special PCAB license include joint venture agreement UVA in case of joint ventures, and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid, and I. Original copy of bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. If in the form of surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. And J. Technical specification, project requirements which shall include the following. A. Organizational chart for the procurement project to be bid. B. List of contractors, key personnel, includes tax identification number, PIN, and contract number, etc. Project manager, project engineer, and materials engineers and foreman to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their biodata with complete qualification and experience data, letter of nominee, key personnel certification of employment, key personnel affidavit of commitment to work on the contract. See list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of the equipment from equipment leaser vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be. D. ISO 901-2015 certification for a large A, medium B, and medium A contractor, and K. Original duly signed omnibus sworn state or SS in accordance to section 54.3 of RA 12009 on standard format per GPPB resolution number 03-2025, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certification in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to the representative leader. L. Sworn affidavit of eligibility and financial ownership for foreign leaders claiming eligibility by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights of Filipinos, certification from the relevant government office of their country, stating that the Filipinos are allowed to participate in the government procurement activities for the same item or product. checklist of financial documents, and the prospective bidders audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total and current assets and liabilities stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for preceding calendar years, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission, and O, the prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity in FCC or committed line of credit LOC. Then class B, documents. P, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement GVA in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence. Or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into abide by the provisions of the GVA in the event that the bid is successful. Lastly, the financial component envelope, second bid envelope. Q, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and R, original of duly signed bid prices and the bill of quantities, and S, duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in the upcoming up with the bid, and T, cash flow of the quarter.
Good morning, everyone. For eligibility check, the bank shall open the first envelopes, technical envelopes in public to determine each bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for eligibility and for the technical requirements as prescribed in the said IRR. After opening the first envelope, the bank shall simultaneously conduct the electronic eligibility check and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. The bank shall first determine the eligibility of the prospective bidders in accordance with Section 52 of this IRR, and the initial technical proposals shall be evaluated using a pass or fail criterion to determine whether the same meet the minimum technical requirements of the procuring entity. For purposes of determining the eligibility of bidders using the criteria stated in Section 52.4 of this IRR, the bank of a procuring entity shall use the contents of the valid and updated PhilGIPS Certificate of Registration Platinum Membership pursuant to the requirements provided in Section 20 of this IRR. The bank shall also require the submission of the following: A. Statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. B. SLCC and NFCC, to ensure that the prospective bidder is technically and financially capable to undertake the procurement project. The bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid, and whose value adjusted to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid, provided that any change to the 50% requirement may be allowed, subject to the recommendation of the procuring entity, which shall be submitted to the GPPB for consideration, provided further that contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the procurement project to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract cost of the registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the people. For infrastructure projects, JV bidders shall submit a JVA in accordance with RA number 4566 or the contractor's license law and its IRR. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit their respective PhilGIPS certificate of registration in accordance with Section 20.2.9.1 of this IRR. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitutes compliance, provided that the partner responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of all its ongoing contracts. Electronic eligibility check shall be done by using the data and program in the DPWH Civil Works Application or CWA. Only the participating contractor who submits the original receipt for payment of the bidding documents for the contract issued by any DPWH field office will be considered by the procuring entity to be undertaken with the electronic eligibility evaluation. That's all.
Preliminary examination of bids, Section 59 of the new Government Procurement Act of RA 12009 and its IRR. Prior to bid evaluation, the bank shall open the first bid envelopes in public to determine each bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for the eligibility and technical requirements as prescribed in this IRR. For this purpose, the bank shall check the submitted documents of its bidder against a checklist of required documents to ascertain if they are all present using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as stated in the instruction to bidders. If a bidder submitted the required document, it shall be rated pass for that particular requirement. In this regard, bids that fail to include any requirement or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. Otherwise, the bank shall rate the first bid envelope as passed. Receipt of the scanned copies of the first bid envelope with the required forms prescribed in this IRR, which are for online or electronic bid submission, shall be considered as compliant with the requirements of the said bid submission, subject to the submission of the original copies of the following: A. Bid securing declaration or other forms of bid security, excluding cash, and B. Omnibus sworn statement, and C. Sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. This form shall be submitted by the bidder during the post-qualification stage. The non-submission of these forms within the prescribed period shall render the bid submission as non-compliant and shall result in the post-disqualification of the bidder. Immediately after determining compliance with the requirements in the first bid envelope, the bank shall open the second bid envelope of its remaining eligible bidder whose technical proposal contained in the first bid envelope was rated pass. The second bid envelope of its compliant bidder shall be opened within the same day, except as provided under Section 58 and 62 of this IRR. In case any of the requirements in the second bid envelope of our particular bid is missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient, and or if the submitted total bid price exceeds the ABC, the bank shall rate the bid concerned as failed. Only bids determined to contain all the bid requirements for both components shall be rated pass and immediately considered for evaluation and comparison. Receipt of the scanned copies of the second bid envelope with the required forms such as the duly signed bid form, price schedules, or other forms prescribed in this IRR for electronic or online bid submission shall be considered as compliant with the requirements of the said bid submission.
For the detailed evaluation and comparison of bids per Section 61 of the new Government Procurement Act and GPA of RA 12009 and its IRR. Procuring entities shall set a transparent methodology that outlines the data needed and calculation methodology to be used when conducting an LCCA or LCA, as may be applicable. To ensure comparability and fairness among bidders, With due consideration of the significance of the potential environmental impacts, bidders' ability to provide the information requested for bid evaluation, and visibility of verifying compliance during contract implementation. Members of the BAC, its staff and personnel, secretariat, and TWG as well as observers are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC through its secretariat may ask the bidder in writing for clarification of its bids. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. The bank shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria and considering the following: completeness of the bid, unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. However, when no price or a zero or a dash is indicated in a required item in the bid form, the same shall be construed that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. And arithmetical corrections. The bank shall consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modification if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. An adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. In case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Total price per item and unit price per the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. Stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. And lastly, amount in price schedule and in the bid form, the latter shall prevail.
Post-qualification of the lowest calculated bid. Section 63 of the new Government Procurement Act of RA 12009 and its IRR. The bidder with the LCP infrastructure project or the HRD, in the case of consulting services, shall undergo post-qualification to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. During the post-qualification, the bank shall verify and validate the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all the eligibility documents supporting the PhilJet certificate of registration, platinum membership, and all the other statements made, and documents submitted by the bidders with the LCB using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider, but shall not be limited to the following. Letter A, legal requirements to verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidders, and the fact that it is not included in the AMI blacklist as provided in Section 54 of this IRL. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a portal which contains and consolidated file of all the listed suppliers, contractors, and consultants. Review technical requirements to verify and validate the bidders' stated compliance with the requirements specified in the bidding documents. And C, financial requirements to verify and validate the bid price proposal of the bidder and whenever applicable, required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated in the bidding documents for the bidder's NFCC to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. If the bank determines that the bidders with the LCB passes all the criteria,
for post-qualification, it shall declare the said bid as the LCRB and recommend it to the hope the award of contract to the said bidders and its submitted bid price or its calculated bid price, whichever is lower. If, however, the BAC determines that the bidder with the LCB fails the criteria for post-qualification, it shall immediately notify the said bidder in writing of its post-disqualification and the grounds for it. The post-qualification process shall be completed in not more than 12 calendar days from the determination of the LCB.
The criteria and procedure for the award to the bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid. Pursuant to Section 66 of the new Government Procurement Act or of RA 12009 and its IRR. The BAC shall recommend to the hope the award of contract to the bidder with the LCRB after the post-qualification process has been completed. Within 3 calendar days from the issuance of the resolution recommending award of contract, the BAC shall notify all other bidders in writing of its recommendation. Within a period not exceeding 10 calendar days from the determination and declaration through a resolution by the BAC of the LCRB, the hope or its duly authorized representative shall approve or disapprove the said recommendation. In case of approval, the hope or its duly authorized representative shall immediately issue the notice of award to the bidder with the LCRB. Prior to the expiration of the period of bid validity, the procuring entity shall notify the successful bidder in writing that its bid has been accepted through a notice of award duly received by the bidder or its authorized representative, personally or by registered mail or electronically. Receipt of which must be confirmed in writing within 2 days by the bidder with the HRRB and submitted personally or sent by registered mail or electronically to the procuring entity. Within 10 calendar days from receipt by the winning bidder of the notice of award, the following conditions should be complied with before the contract may be awarded. A. Submission of the following documents. 1. Valid joint venture agreement if applicable or sex certificate of registration of the foreign corporation or the sex certificate of registration of the foreign consulting firm and or the authorization or license issued by the appropriate government agency or professional regulatory body of the foreign professionals engaging in the practice of regulated professions and allied professions were applicable. B. Posting of the performance security in accordance with ITB Clause 33 and C. Signing of the contract as provided in ITB Clause 32.
Okay, we are now ready to entertain questions, comments from readers. Napa? Sorry. So, next in the agenda is the summary of proceedings to be presented by Engineer Maestra Luculibra.
For the summary of proceedings, including supplemental and bid bulletins. Request for clarifications on any part of the bidding documents or for an interpretation must be in writing and submitted to the back of the procuring entity concerned at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. The BAC shall respond to the said request by issuing a bid bulletin duly signed by the BAC chairperson to be made available to those who have properly secured the bidding documents at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For purposes of clarifying or modifying any provision of the bidding documents, bid bulletins may be issued upon the procuring entity's initiative at least 7 calendar days before the deadline of the submission and receipt of bids. Any modification to the bidding document shall be identified as an amendment. Any bid bulletin issued by the bank shall also be posted in the field jets in any conspicuous place in the premises of the procuring entity and on the website or social media platforms of the procuring entity, if available, or such other channels as may be authorized by the GPPB. It shall be the responsibility of all those who have properly secured the bidding documents to inquire and secure bid bulletins that may be issued by the bank. However, bidders who have submitted bids before the issuance of the bid bulletin must be informed and allowed to modify or withdraw their bids in accordance with Section 55 of its IRR.
Okay, do we have any questions from the bidders? So since there is none, so this ends our PB conference. Any motion to adjourn? Okay, as moved and seconded, this PB conference is adjourned. Thank you and good morning.